All things and praise is due to the basis foundation. God is most great, and none has the right to be worshipped but you. Hello everyone, this is Stepdogg, and I'm here live at Broad Street again. And I'm going to explain the 6 kingdoms of the devil that the Masons get to be a part of by explaining the Tower of Power here on the Masonic Temple here in Philadelphia. But first, let me give some explanations of how I'm going to describe this. First of all, there are connections between the visions that Daniel received in the Old Testament and the visions that John received in the book of Revelation. The main common thread is the beast with the 10 horns, and that is the Illuminati, the beast of that is the 6th kingdom of the devil. So basically, the Masons get to be a part of 6 kingdoms of the devil, because after this kingdom, they get wiped out along with the Illuminati, and basically the 7th kingdom arises out of Muslims of the Golden Rule, Gog and Magog. But anyway, I'm first going to explain the visions that Daniel received about the 4 beasts. Okay, so basically Daniel received a vision of 4 beasts that came out of the sea after God churned up the sea. Well, basically what happened was the French Revolution churned up the sea. 4 beasts spawned out of the French Revolution. Those 4 beasts were the reign of Napoleon, the Nazi Revolution, the Communist Revolution, and the Illuminati Revolution. Those are the 4 kingdoms of the devil that came about after the French Revolution. The first kingdom of the Illuminati and the 2nd kingdom of the devil. Okay, so the first beast that he saw, it was given, basically it was defeated and it was given the brain of a man. Well, that's because it was Napoleon. And even the era is named after Napoleon. The 2nd kingdom, or the 2nd beast, is the Nazis. And the reason that God told the beast to devour your share of flesh, God was talking about the concentration camps. And the 3 ribs that were found in the mouth of that beast: Adolf Hitler, Mussolini, and the Japanese. Then we have the 3rd beast that was given authority to rule. Well, that's basically the communists and Joseph Stalin. Basically, they took the authority of God away and gave it to themselves in the state. The 4th kingdom is the Illuminati. That's the present day Illuminati, not the French Revolution one. The present day, the one with the 10 factions, the one with the 10 horns. That's the beast that terrified Daniel the most, because it trampled over everything in its path with the military-industrial complex, and that is the Illuminati. Also, he wanted an explanation of the 10 horns, and also there was another horn that showed up that uprooted 3 of the horns. Well, the horn that showed up that was real boastful and arrogant, that's the 6th Antichrist. That's Michael Jordan. The 3 horns that he uprooted, one of them is George Soros. The other one is the head of the Illuminati in China. Who the 3rd horn is, I'm not sure, and I really don't care, but I'll probably figure that out too eventually. But those were the visions that Daniel received about the 4 beasts. Now that's connected to his vision about the ram and the goats. Now, okay, the 1st kingdom of the devil after Jesus died was the Roman Empire. What came out of the Roman Empire as far as God's concerned? The Roman Catholic Church. The false teachings of Jesus Christ. Well, of Jesus. And basically they called him Jesus Christ, even though that's not his name. Okay, so the ram is the Roman Catholic Church. The 2 horns out of its head. The first one, the Knights Templar. They were the first ones to desire to start the 2nd kingdom of the devil. They were squashed by the Roman Catholic Church. The horn that was longer, that started later, that was the Jesuits. They tried the same thing. They tried to start the 2nd kingdom of the devil, and the Roman Catholic Church squashed it again. The goat with the 1 strong horn, that was the Illuminati, and the horn is the French Revolution. Now that horn broke off, and 4 horns rose in its place. The 4 horns were Napoleon, Hitler, Stalin, and Michael Jordan. Basically, the reign of Napoleon, the Nazi Revolution, the Communist Bloc, and the Illuminati with Michael Jordan as the Antichrist. Okay, so basically, I'm going to explain the Masonic Tower of Power and explain the Masons' position in all this. Okay, there is the Masonic Tower of Power. Okay, you could see where the Masonic Temple kind of levels off. That's the Roman Empire. That's the first kingdom of the devil. Now those 3 small towers, one right there, one right there, and one right there. These 2 are the horns of the ram. That one over there is the horn of the goats. So this first one is the Knights Templar. The second one is the Jesuits. That one right there is the goats. That is the Illuminati and the French Revolution. Now the French Revolution was destroyed. That's what I mean. That horn of the goat got destroyed, and 4 horns rose out of it. Now those are the 4 horns on top. Now I need to go to the front of the Tower of Power to explain the rest to you. So I'm going to do that right now. But anyway, these visions that Daniel received, even when Gabriel explained them to him, he told him, these are the visions of the end time, of God's time of wrath. Now, God's time of wrath hasn't come yet to the Jews. Obviously, God's not speaking about the time of wrath for the Egyptians, because that already happened. And Gabriel even said, this is in the distant future. So basically, Daniel was the first to receive visions of the Illuminati that we know today. John received them again. That's when the Jews put 1 and 1 together, and they thought, oh, this beast with the 10 horns, this has some significance, because Daniel received visions of it, and now John received visions of it. And basically, just like when Daniel received visions of, the 4 beasts, and he was terrified of the 4th beast, the Illuminati that we know now, Gabriel told him, well, that kingdom gets defeated, and, God's people rule forever and ever, which is going to happen. But I'm just about in a position to take the rest of this video. Okay. So now I moved over to the front of the Masonic Temple so that I could show you the Tower of Power from this side. Okay. So I just explained, now there's the front. Now I just explained the 3 small towers surrounding the Tower of Power on this first level. Basically, they all came about because of the Roman Empire. The first one was the Knights Templar, the second one was, and that's just it, the Knights Templar was an institution of the Roman Catholic Church. So the Jesuits still are. Those are the 2 towers that I said were the same height on that side of the tower. Then we have this one over here in the back that's higher than the rest, than the other 2, and that is the French Revolution and the Illuminati. So then basically, the horn of the goat gets broken, and it breaks up into 4 separate horns. Now those are the horns up top. That's the one that's the Illuminati right now. And then the other 3 are all the same height. That one is Napoleon, the one behind that is the Nazis, the one behind that is the Communist Bloc, and that is the Illuminati that we know today. Now then when you look at these 2 columns right here, this column goes all the way up to the top. That's the Masons. That's the Masons right there. Now the Masons weren't a part of the Knights Templar, and they were not a part of the Jesuits, and they were not a part of the original French Revolution and the original Illuminati, even though the Illuminati started recruiting them at that point. But then we go up top. Like I said, you got the 3 towers that are the same height. Now there, like I said, the first one's Napoleon, the second one is the Nazis, and the third one is the Communist Bloc. None of them involve the Masons. None of them. It's only that one right there. This second version of the Illuminati with the 10 horns that involves the Masons. That is the 6th kingdom of the devil, and that is where the Masons end. So I just gave you an explanation of the first 6 kingdoms of the devil and how they apply to the Masons. The Masons are really only a part of this last kingdom here, this 6th one, this second version of the Illuminati. They were not a part of the first one, even though that's when the Illuminati started recruiting them. And after the Illuminati was defeated the first time, just like with the Knights Templar and with the Jesuits, they went underground again. So they started recruiting the Masons at this point. And this is how the Masons became a part of the 6th kingdom of the devil after the time of Jesus. Now, if you look, you can see the column that represents the Masons, it extends all the way down. So that means they were always a part of the devil's world. Always. You know what I mean? They were always a part of it. The Roman Catholic Church was up until this point. Because that's where the Knights Templar wanted to, because like this is basically the Roman Catholic Church. Right there is where the Knights Templar wanted to start the 2nd kingdom of the devil, and they did not. Behind them, the Jesuits wanted to do the same thing. Church squashed them again. The one on this side, the one on the other side that's to higher, like I said, that was when the Illuminati actually finally had success and started the 2nd kingdom of the devil. But when that horn was broken off, the tower rose some more, and then you have the 4 separate horns on top. The Illuminati's horn is the highest because that is the most fierce beast. Even Daniel described it as such. It has the 10 horns of the Illuminati and the 11th horn, which is the Antichrist, Michael Jordan. So see that? I mean, the Masons, when they were building this was already after Napoleon. This Masonic temple was not built until after Napoleon. So they already knew enough to know what they needed to do to design that in a satanic way, because these Masons and whatnot, they use demonic architecture. They designed things to attract demonic spirits to these structures, and they did that with this Masonic temple. But nonetheless, you can explain the 6 kingdoms of the devil just by explaining those towers on that Tower of Power here, the Masonic temple here in Philadelphia. Another little tidbit, since I'm right here across from City Hall. They also knew that the Basis Foundation would be in Northeast Philadelphia, because if you look at the top of the tower of City Hall, William Penn is at the top, and he is facing to the northeast. And the reason that he is facing to the northeast is because that is where the Basis Foundation is. And that's what I mean. What you gotta realize about the Jews is they're not smart. They're not. It's just they were the ones given the book. And then after John received his revelations and they knew, well, God's getting rid of us, basically they started to tap into the demonic, and basically they got answers from demonic spirits. In fact, there were times where they even channeled Jesus to give them answers. So I mean, they basically cheated to get all the information that they got, but they have it, and they've been flaunting it in everybody's face for the last, well, since Jesus, the last couple thousand years. And they were even flaunting it in people's face before that. Oh, our God is this, that, and the other. Well, your God doesn't love you anymore, and your God wants to eliminate you now, because God doesn't want children. God wants slaves, so the children got to go. But anyway, that's an explanation of the 6 kingdoms of the devil, just by looking at the Tower of Power on the Masonic Temple here in Philadelphia. All thanks and praises due to the Basis Foundation. God is most great. None has the right to worship you.